Hi guys, I want to recap those AP themes. So again, these are things that if we name drop in an essay, a short answer, a DBQ, the College Board's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you think I'm so important? And they're gonna be very excited, okay? So I'm gonna go over these, you know them really well from your book and movie projects, even though like everyone did identity every single time. But let's talk about them. So first, identity. This one's really helpful with point of view, a group and their gender, their class, their racial, ethnic makeup, all of this stuff, and why it might give them a certain point of view, have them feel the way they feel. Again, I told you guys, if we think about these events in terms of cause and effect, it will really help us out. So when we talk about a classic example like the first wave of immigration, the causes for that, why those people felt that they were, should come to America, should work hard, should get those jobs, then the nativist reactions, where those people would be coming from, stuff like that. So a people's identity, how they would respond in certain contexts, all of that stuff, okay? The next one, work exchange and technology. This is everything from our industrial revolutions to our Silicon Valleys, agriculture and the populace, any kind of commerce, manufacturing, government policies that apply to them, our Sherman antitrust, our Clayton antitrust, Munn versus Illinois, Wabash versus Illinois, even court cases that deal with interstate commerce, such as Gibbons versus Ogden, and what's the other one? What's the other court case about interstate commerce? Oh my gosh, I just said it. It's Wabash versus Illinois. What am I thinking? All of those would fall into work exchange and technology. And again, we're really looking at our first big industrial revolution with our first wave of immigration, same matching up because again, there are those jobs. Second wave of immigration. Now we have Southern and Eastern Europeans matching up with that second wave of immigrants. And the second industrial revolution, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. And then I would say our third wave is really technology and that stuff. Peopling. Why people move to different environments. Basically, this is immigration. Think about forced immigration in contexts like the Native Americans. Think about immigration into our country. Think about the Okies moving from, the Great Plains to California, all that stuff. Politics and power, the three branches of government, the checks and balances, going back to people like Rousseau and Montesquieu, understanding how our Constitution is built up, tensions between state and national government and how that plays in with the North and the South, how groups create, use, or limit power for themselves and others, meaning who do we keep power from? And my goodness, it's everybody, right? Usually except for white, male, wealthy landowners. Everybody else is going to have that power limited, and how that's tested over time through civil rights, through the women's movement, through AIM, through the Latino movement, all this stuff. America in the world is foreign policy. A big part of this is going to be war. A big part of this is going to be treaties and arbitration. And a big part of this, of course, is going to be any kind of diplomacy that we have, right? Open door policies to Monroe doctrines, all that stuff. Environment and geography. Think about how different the North and the Southern colonies between Jamestown and Plymouth are going to be founded, right? And how that leads to such different city environments in the North versus very rural, stretched out in the South, primed for something like slavery because of the climate, because of the people dying from malaria who were white, etc. Think about how all that stuff impacts each other. What happens in the Great Plains because of the environment, all of that stuff, the Great Lakes and how they are a part of, the steel and all the stuff being sent over Lake Erie and stuff like that. How we preserve it in times like Jimmy Carter and Teddy Roosevelt, how we don't in times like the Teapot Dome scandal and someone like Harding, right? So think about the environment in that way. When it has helped us thrive, when it has challenged us to survive, etc. Ideas, beliefs, and culture. This is religion, this is art, this is science, this is the Scopes trial, this is, oh my gosh, like our artists such as Hopper, right? This is going to be our morals, our values, times where it's really challenged, like the 1920s, where you have these different ideas, like the 1960s, different ideas, right? Why people think the way they do, how propaganda might play a role, how your class might play a role, your economic class, and how people are influenced. So keep in mind just a little bit of housekeeping with the exam itself. You have 55 multiple choice questions in 55 minutes. Then you have the short answer. There's going to be 4 questions. You have 45 minutes for that. Then you have your DBQ. You have really 60 minutes for that. Then you have your one long essay. You will have a choice of your thematic essay, and that is going to be 35 minutes, okay? You're going to be great. You're going to be great, okay?